All right, so now we are going to actually start painting. The first start of the painting process, the first part of it, is called blocking. We are blocking in our colors. Okay, this part's going to look patchy. It's not going to be perfectly blended, but what the point is, we're trying to get all the colors on there that we will then blend. Okay, so in order to start doing that, you're going to make sure you have your reference photo open. Remember, you go to File, open up that reference photo that you saved, and you're going to have your painting file set up like this, ready to go. Okay, reference the last tutorial, the last video about setting up the file. Please don't start here. Look at the other one first. Okay, so now we're going to paint. Number one, brush tool right here. You can adjust the brush tool at the top here. Brush tool is here again. We click there, and then we change the size of our brush depending on where we're painting. We want a decent sized brush. Now I'm going to show you the difference between a hard brush and a soft brush. So for right now, let's see what color we have. Gray. No. Let's just do a blue. Here's my brush. There's the size. 0% hardness looks like that. Ooh, let me change also. You guys, it's going to start at 100% opacity. That's what we want as well. Okay. So that's a soft brush, 0% hardness. And then at 100%, it looks like this. Very, very different. We're going to be using both ways in order to paint. We start out with a hard brush. So hardness, 100%. Size, it depends on where you're painting. Come back here to change the size as needed. Opacity starts at 100%. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my Apple here, and we're going to be using keyboard shortcuts. So this is physical keys on the keyboard. Okay, press the letter I and hold it. See how it changed to a eyedropper. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose a color, click it like so. Okay. And then I'm going to press the B button. B is in brush, B. And look at that. It's a brush. Okay. I, B. Okay. And then click and drag, apply your paint like so. You can turn off the fine edges layer like this so you can see what you have. Okay. Gonna go back over here. I choose, again, we're choosing colors based on value. So you're going from darks to lights, darks, mediums, So I'm going to be choosing dark greens, mid greens, these light greens. I'm going to be doing all of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click a color up here. B, paint. Well, this brush is a little bit too big. I definitely want some more differences in color. I'm just trying to show you quickly how you block out colors. So, like so. Now when I'm actually digitally painting, I'm pretty much always zoomed in on the area that I'm working on. Because then, see how big that brush is now? We can make the brush smaller. Yep. Then okay. All right, relax. Go back over here. B. And I chose like the one little lavender color. That's not what I wanted. Okay, B. There we go. Okay, so I'm painting. And I understand you guys don't have mice. Some of you might have mice at home to use on your Chromebooks. Highly recommend getting one. It doesn't even have to be wireless. It can be, the one that has the USB cord attached to it. You can plug that into your Chromebook. But I understand if you don't have it. If you don't have it, obviously you're using your trackpad. I'll use my trackpad here to show you. Well, not that you can see, but maybe you can hear the difference. Now, also, you can use 2 fingers on the trackpad. You can click and then drag with your other finger. Click, drag with your other finger. Okay? You can also do dots too. Whatever works for you. Let's pick this. And then B. See that? Now it's gonna take some time. Now I'm gonna give you guys a lot of time for this, okay? I don't expect you to get it done all in one sitting. Absolutely not. That's insane. That's why we're doing it on like the school desktops, not only because obviously we have Photoshop and Illustrator through the desktops at school, but you also have access to your H drive. So that's super important because you can save and then just come back to it whenever you want. All right. I click B, paint. Okay. And then every so often turn off that top layer just so you can see what's going on. Again, it's going to look patchy. That's fine. Okay. The next part will be blending. I've been blocking for a little while. And notice I've selected, my areas of darkness, selected my mid values, my mid-tones, my highlights. Now, this leaf is annoying me. I don't like it. There's not enough value variation. Now, I could spend the time in adding in my shadows, but you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to erase it. No one's going to see your reference photo in the end. Guess what they're going to see? Just going to see your apple or whatever fruit you chose, right? So I'm like, you know what? Nope, not doing that. Not happening. So I erase. And then, to make it convincing, I just paint in, the colors that are around it. And I'm like, nope. Remember, I to choose, B to go back to your brush. Okay. All right, so once you've blocked out all your colors, you don't have empty spaces, you've got your colors where you want them to be, you are going to see the edges here? We're going to clean those up at the very end, okay? You're just going to use your eraser, and you end up, going in there with a soft eraser, like 50% opacity. You just want it to be subtle. But you might as well blend everything first and then clean up your edges, okay? So this is now how you blend your stuff together, your colors together. Zoom in, use your brush. Now you're going to use the eye. You're going to choose your color, B for brush, and you want your brush to be soft, 0% hardness. You want your opacity to be a 30 or below. I think in the tutorial I say 50 or below. As the years have gone by, I find 30 or below is better. So, but not to be perfect. And then, it's like airbrushing. See how every time I click, or with the trackpad, okay, every time I click, like so. So it's blending. All right. Every time I click and drag, I get a blend. But then I'm like, ooh, okay, I should probably grab grab that color and put that over top. See that? Little circular motions using my trackpad. Like so. Let me zoom out so you guys can see the blend. See how it's coming together? Now, I don't suggest doing this in one sitting. I suggest, do a little bit, come back later. Do a little bit, come back later. You do not need to sit here forever and try to get it done in one sitting. Little bits and pieces. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of time to do this. Okay? So that's blending. One more time. I, choose your color. B for your brush. And See the seams? The seams are where like the colors meet. So little circular motion. The more you block, the more, you put in your colors at the beginning, the less you have to blend. I've had students in the past just do really careful, beautiful blocking, and they barely had to blend, if anything at all. So I highly recommend putting in the work for your blocking, because then your blending stage won't take nearly as long. But some students like doing the airbrush kind of blending look much more than others. Let's see some examples. Go back. Let's go back. Yeah. Like he did a lot of blending, beautiful blending here. Let's go back. Right here. But then all in the spiky parts of the fruit, he didn't blend at all. See that difference? Look at all that. This is super blended, right? And somewhere in between. This isn't blended. See, this is what I mean. This is not blended at all. But those are cherries. Those look like cherries. Fantastic edging on that. Like if you block well enough, you don't really have to blend. Just want to point that out. Okay. More of my examples. Okay. Now some of you might be like, hey, why can't I use the smudge tool? Just here, it's like that finger there that's smudging. I want to show you. That's not blending, that's just grabbing what's there and kind of just smearing it. It can totally work in some areas, so I'm not going to stop you if you want to use it in some spots, but the blending I showed you is going to make it, look more seamless. Which I guess you could blend and then smudge on top. See how it just gets swirly and strange? So it's not exactly, blending. You may want a crisper edge. Like, see how it's blending nicely in these bigger areas, but other areas like along like the edge of the apple here, I definitely want that to stay crisp. So, you can go back with that hard brush and you can go ahead and kind of, and again, the opacity is down, so that's why it's pretty see-through, but you can kind of build up that harder edge so you don't lose that quality to it. That's important to pay attention to. Find areas where it may not look that dark here, so over here doesn't look dark, but definitely in here I want it darker, even though I'm not really pulling that darker color, right? I want it to really look like that stem is in there. So you can go ahead and use that eyedropper, right? Choose the color, then double click on the swatch, and then like grab a darker value on your own. And make that smaller, make it soft again, and then get that kind of darker value in there. After you've blocked, you're like, I just didn't want it to be lighter. Remember, you can use the burn and the dodge tools that we've used for other things. Dodge makes things lighter, right, to get a highlight in there, right? And then burn makes things darker. See that? Don't overdo that because it can look forced, but it's an option. Now, other things you can do, erase those edges, okay? Turn the fine edges back on, use your erase, make a new layer underneath your painting layer, make a black brush, soft, add in a shadow, okay? Then go ahead and make a gradient background, black and a color, apply your gradient, radial's nice, look at that. Now I would take my time and finish this up nicer, but say you're done, make sure you file, save as, fruit study, put it in your H drive, change it from Photoshop to JPEG, hand it in. Make sure you're handing it in Google Classroom, please, on the assignment.